evening and welcome to this edition of the Evening News for today, Wednesday, May 15, 2024. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. In the headlines this evening, government refuses GTU's proposed 20% payout for teachers before resuming talks. TNT refusal of Guyanese dairy products and AFFRONT to regional integration, says government. Traffic chief calls out drivers seeking favors from high-ranking officials. Long Creek smash-up claims sixth victim. Government pumped $27 billion into Because We Care cash grants since returning to office. And security officer shot dead after allegedly opening fire on police. Now for the news in detail. The Ministry of Education has outrightly refused a 20% across-the-board payout for teachers, which was proposed by the Guyana Teachers Union before talks resumed on the negotiation process. Details in this Trishel Sobers report.
The Guyana Teachers Union requested that the interim 20% increase be paid to teachers before any conciliation regarding the time frame for the payment period for salary increases continues. The demand made by GTU is aside from monies to be paid to teachers when a payment period for the multi-year agreement is decided upon. Additionally, the union requested that Labour Minister Joseph Hamilton recuse himself from the negotiations process. Before this, both parties on Tuesday had agreed on the terms of resumption and were prepared to sign a document presented by the union so that there is no victimization of either party. The document stipulated that during the consideration of the matter in dispute, there shall be no strike, stoppage of work, whether of a partial or general nature, go slow, boycotting, picketing, retardation of production, or any other interference with the ministry's operations by the union. In addition, the TRO stated that there shall not be any lockout or any other form of interference with the ministry's operations by the union, nor shall there be any lockout or any other form of interference by the ministry. At a specially convened press conference on Wednesday, Education Minister Priya Manikchand stated that the request by the union is unreasonable and made it clear that the government will not sign off on the union's requests and will also not negotiate under duress. She contends that GTU is, quote, setting a very bad precedent, not only for the Guyana government, but for governments across the region, end quote.
My position is, given that the union is a union of many years, they're not new. They didn't start 2 years ago. This is a long-standing union who have had some honorable positions in the past. So they know their onions. Given the fact that they know this is not how industrial relations happen, my conclusion could only be that they intended to derail this process. They do not intend to have any conciliation. They want to keep teachers on the road. They want to be disruptive to the education system. And we believe that is being politically directed, because no one who has the interest of children at heart could tell me that this is a good place to be in.
Manikchand further stated that the table is open for the union to rescind its requests until Monday, May 21, when both parties are expected to meet again. She explained that after Monday, the government will take action against the union and distance learning will be instituted in homes to combat the current learning loss.
We have a standing, sacred almost duty to make sure we look after children. And anyone who wants to, anything that comes in the way of that has to be treated condignly and swiftly with solutions. I hope that the sane members of that union body could take the union back and bring it to that place so that on Monday we end up with a resolution and a conciliation agreement where we go to the table and engage in the conciliation process. If that breaks down, then there's a place for our arbitration.
The Guyana Teachers Union and the Guyana government through the Ministry of Education on Monday met for conciliation talks regarding the ongoing teacher strike, which resumed last Thursday. This was facilitated following the issuance of a letter from the official of the Education Ministry to the Labour Ministry, requesting that its subject minister, Joseph Hamilton, intervene in the matter with the Guyana Teachers Union. Efforts to contact GTU officials for a comment on these developments proved futile. Trishel Sobers, Evening News.
Harris Gerald Bryan, who reports that the Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Ministry has described Trinidad and Tobago's decision to block dairy imports from Guyana as an unacceptable affront to ongoing regional integration efforts.
In a statement late Tuesday evening, the ministry slammed the actions of Trinidad to refuse $20 million worth of milk imports from Guyanese business conglomerate Demerara Distillers Limited. According to the ministry, the Guyana Livestock Development Agency, GLDA, is currently in close contact with Trinidadian counterparts to reach a timely resolution. The ministry condemned Trinidad's decision to refuse the goods, noting that it was an affront to the spirit of Caribbean integration. While they acknowledged that regional products must satisfy sanitary and other rules, they noted that the dairy products were in full compliance with these regulations. It was pointed out that Guyana has already opened its market to regional producers. Hence, it is expected that products from Guyana should be guaranteed the full benefits of regional integration. On Tuesday, DDL chairman Komal Samaru revealed that 4 20-foot shipping containers of packaged milk and bottled water were recently blocked by Trinidadian authorities from entry. During an emergency press conference, Samaru revealed that the milk, worth $20 million, was sent back, while the sale of the water was restricted.
Guyana is importing products from other CARICOM countries without them having to go through the onerous routes that we are required to go through in this particular market. And I believe if we're talking about food security and CARICOM trade and their regulatory framework in a particular market that restricts that trade, then it is an issue for CARICOM. And we believe we will be having discussion with the government, and we believe this matter requires CARICOM attention. You cannot be promoting trade on an uneven playing field where you have free, ready access, but nobody has access to your market. That cannot work.
Incidentally, export woes to Trinidad come at a time when the 58th Council for Trade and Economic Development quoted meeting is ongoing. It is not the first time Guyana has experienced hurdles exporting products to Trinidad. Years of battling with hindrances to the transshipment of certain products, such as honey, into Trinidad resulted in legislation being pushed in the Twin Island Republic to resolve the decade-old issue last year. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Let's now tell you that a 6th person has succumbed to his injuries in the horrific smash-up at Long Creek Linden-Susdike Highway on Monday, which had already claimed the lives of 5 persons. The 6th victim has been identified as 67-year-old Aubrey Ghani of Susdike Linden Highway. He reportedly died while receiving medical attention at the Georgetown Public Hospital on Wednesday. The other victims are Urani Hall, Rochelle Leacock, Rehum Leacock, Clinton Patterson, and Dawalan Farrell. The accident reportedly involved 2 motorcars, PAF 6785, owned and driven by Rehum Leacock, and PTT 8159, owned and driven by Dawalan Farrell. Police have said that PTT 8159 was heading to the mining town of Linden, while the other vehicle was heading to Georgetown, and both were reportedly speeding. As the vehicles were about to pass each other, Leacock reportedly lost control of his vehicle and it crashed head-on into Farrell's vehicle, resulting in both vehicles being extensively damaged and the occupants therein sustaining severe injuries. They were taken to the Linden Hospital complex, where Rehum Leacock, Clinton Patterson, Urani Hall, Rochelle Leacock, and Dawalan Farrell were pronounced dead on arrival. The other 4 occupants, Asha Granam, Aubrey Gandhi, Roshana Burberry, and Ashana Ramsingo, were admitted to the hospital with severe injuries. They were later transferred to the Georgetown Public Hospital with their conditions listed as critical. We are now joined by Lawanda McAllister, who reports that in a candid address on traffic education aimed at curbing road accidents, Traffic Chief Senior Superintendent Mahindra Singh has taken a firm stand against drivers who rely on connections with high-ranking officials to escape penalties for traffic offenses.
Speaking to drivers specifically, Singh emphasized the critical role of traffic education in fostering safer roads. He underscored that such education is designed to enhance drivers' understanding of road safety and lawful behavior. Singh stated unequivocally that drivers should not seek to align themselves with individuals in positions of power who might facilitate their unlawful actions on the road by making a call.
One of the things I want to point out in that regard is that the traffic education is bent on improving your understanding that you shouldn't align yourself to persons who may or have the ability to support your wrongdoing and or unlawful act on the road by making a call. We want to tell the member of the public that each time you commit yourself and you think you're going to rely on someone to help you, to assist you, to cause you not to be prosecuted or to be in receipt of a ticket, don't fool yourself. Each time you do that, it's each time you're telling yourself, I can be involved in an accident and I may not die.
His remarks come at a time when traffic violations and road accidents remain a significant concern. He stressed that drivers must take personal responsibility for their actions and recognize the importance of their contribution to societal safety.
Look at what happened yesterday only, and I'm really trying to avoid having to speak to that, but I'll tell you something. For us to have the effect or impact, we need to understand that what happened yesterday could have been prevented. And it could have been prevented had one taken into consideration that I may have been traveling from very far on road surface which may not have been as smooth as this one is, where asphalted concrete or paved roads would have been present. And so the time I took to get from maybe, let's say Kwakwani, out onto Linden, it would have been tiresome, burdensome. It put me at a disadvantage to fully function, being able to control that motor vehicle, which other people's life depended on to get to another point. So I should have stopped, taken some rest. I should have told the passengers at the time, be it relatives or friends, that look, I cannot be able to continue at this point in time fully functional. Allow me an hour. So all of the aspects or methods to prevent what happened yesterday, it was within the full control of the driver at the time.
The traffic chief's straightforward message resonate with many as he called for a cultural shift in how traffic laws are perceived and followed. By highlighting the futility and danger of relying on influential contacts to evade justice, Singh said the police aim to instill a sense of accountability and respect for the law among drivers. Lawata McAllister for the Evening News.
The Caribbean Court of Justice has ruled in favor of the government's application to join the ExxonMobil oil spill insurance case, overturning the Guyana Court of Appeal's initial decision to block the government from being added as a party to the case. Gerald Bryan reports.
Last year, the Court of Appeal blocked the government's application to join the ExxonMobil oil spill insurance case. As such, Attorney General Anil Nandalal had indicated that the government would approach the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ, to overturn this decision. According to the ruling from the CCJ, the state can be added as a party to the appeal, though no costs were awarded. During his latest episode, Issues in the News, Attorney General Nandalal hailed the decision, which he noted follows a pattern.
So once again, you see this decision of the Guyana Court of Appeal against the government being reversed by the Caribbean Court of Justice. I have made reference to a series of decisions involving the government in a particular type of case or cases, and the Court of Appeal consistently rules in a particular way, and the Caribbean Court of Justice consistently reverses the Guyana Court of Appeal.
Nandalal added that since the Attorney General is the government's legal representative, he had every reason to be added to the case.
The Attorney General is the legal representative of the government. Yet, the Guyana Court of Appeal refuses to add the Attorney General. Fortunately, the Caribbean Court of Justice made short shrift of that ruling of the Court of Appeal and reversed it, making an order that the Attorney General be added to the appeal.
Last year, the High Court ruled that ExxonMobil must provide unlimited insurance for its offshore oil operations in the Stabroek Block. Both the Environmental Protection Agency and Exxon have since appealed this decision, and it is now before the Court of Appeal. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Coming up on the other side of the break, government pumped $27 billion into Because We Care cash grants since returning to office, and security officer shot dead after allegedly opening fire on police. Please stay tuned.
Did you know that GOVT's Jet A1 fuel is a type of aviation fuel specially formulated for turbine engines? Jet A1 fuel is safer to handle and transport than any other fuel types due to its high flash point and low volatility. It also boasts a high energy content, enhancing aircraft performance and efficiency. So whether traveling for business or pleasure, choose GTU'S Jet A1 fuel for a safe, reliable, and efficient flight.
Dad! Dad!
Is that real? आप लोगों को नजर आ रहे हैं?
Well hit. Away it goes. That is a ridiculous. Look at
this. What flavors does Oreo have around the world?
Oreo peanut butter.
Let me see. Oreo cajeta.
Here comes Oreo around the world, the promo that takes you on a family trip to taste the Oreo flavors available in Paris, New York, Mexico, or Rome. Register your packages at oreopromo.com.
Guyanese are set to benefit from improved healthcare services countrywide. You will have access to specialized world-class hospitals, well-trained nurses, doctors, and other health professionals. The sum of $129.8 billion earmarked in Budget 2024 to create a resilient health sector is a mammoth increase from the $90.2 billion budgeted in 2023. Revenues earned from oil production support the fostering of a healthy nation through budgetary support for national development.
What flavors does Oreo have around the world?
Oreo peanut butter.
Let me see. Oreo cajeta.
Here comes Oreo around the world, the promo that takes you on a family trip to taste the Oreo flavors available in Paris, New York, Mexico, or Rome. Register your packages at oreopromo.com.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. The Guyana government has expended a total of $27 billion on Because We Care cash grants since assuming office in August 2020, with an additional $8.6 billion in disposable income to be made available to families nationwide this year. This revelation was made by Education Minister Priya Manikchand on Tuesday during a press conference at the National Center for Educational Resource Development, NCERD, in Kingston, Georgetown.
According to the Education Minister, approximately 214,000 children in public and private school systems have benefited from the annual cash grant. The Education Ministry is set to roll out its Because We Care cash grant this term, which will see each child receiving $45,000. This year, the initiative has been increased to $40,000, coupled with a $5,000 uniform allowance, and is set to benefit 205,000 children countrywide. Additionally, schools have already received their grants to purchase supplies and materials to make teachers more efficient.
I know all parents look forward to it, but I don't think people understand the cumulative effect of this grant. It's really giving back to our parents and the children of this country $27 billion in the 4-year period that we've been there. You would recall when the cash grant was abolished by the previous government that they said they were abolishing the cash grant so that they could give breakfast, boats, buses, boots, and bicycles. We are giving the cash grants plus breakfast, plus we have bought more buses and boats in 3 years than the APNU had done in 5 years. And so I just want you to understand the injection into making sure parents and children could access education so that they could avail themselves of the many opportunities we see coming our way.
The government in its manifesto had promised that by 2025, each child will receive $50,000. The Because We Care initiative was started in 2014 under the People's Progressive Party civic government and saw parents receiving cash grants of $10,000 per child in the public school system. However, When the A Partnership for National Unity, Alliance for Change, APNU-AFC, took office in 2015, the party discontinued the grant. In 2021, the government reintroduced the cash grant distribution for school-aged children, as per its manifesto promise. In 2022, the government increased the Because We Care cash grant from $15,000 to $25,000 and the uniform voucher from $4,000 to $5,000. And in 2023, the grant was increased from $25,000 to $35,000 to $45,000 per child in 2024. The Because We Care cash grant and uniform voucher are part of welfare measures being implemented by the government to put more disposable income into the hands of parents and increase school attendance of learners, particularly those disadvantaged because their parents could not always afford the necessities. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
Described as one of the most modern bills of its kind in the region, the Arbitration Bill 2023 that will soon be debated in the National Assembly is not only based on a Caribbean community CARICOM model, but was reviewed by international law firms. Gerald Bryan reports.
In his latest televised program, Attorney General Anil Nandalal spoke of the range of bills the government currently has before it. One such bill is the Arbitration Bill 2023, which is expected to come up for debate at the next sitting of the National Assembly.
This arbitration bill, which will be debated Friday in the National Assembly, is perhaps the most modern expression of arbitration law in the Commonwealth, certainly in the Caribbean. Arbitration has long been recognized as the most preferred mode of settling commercial disputes. Gone are the days where huge companies want to go to court to resolve their disputes.
According to Nandalal, the bill will have a dramatic effect on arbitration in Guyana, as well as make the country an attractive one for investors. He referenced Guyana's comparative advantages as an English-speaking country.
The bill, as I said, is a modern bill. It came out of a CARICOM model, but then I sent it to the US for the input of two of the largest law firms in the world, Arnold and Porter out of Washington, D.C., and Gibson and Dunn out of New York and London. These are two law firms that specialize in arbitration. They reviewed it and they made certain additions which we have incorporated.
In addition to this, the Attorney General noted that the bill also provides for arbitration centers to be established locally.
It allows for the establishment of arbitration centers in Guyana. So, a company that offers arbitration services in North America or in Europe can come to Guyana because we have the most modern law, and they can establish their arbitration centers here. And the very persons who would have been hearing the arbitration in one of the cities in the first world can now travel to Guyana and hear the arbitration right here. So we are creating employment, we are keeping millions of dollars, US dollars, within the shores of Guyana, and we are offering this multi-million US dollars facility in Guyana.
Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
39-year-old Michael Britton of Vigilance South, East Coast Demerara, was shot and killed on Tuesday after he allegedly opened fire on police. Based on reports received, the ranks were driving along Brush Dam, Friendship, East Coast Demerara, on their way to the Vigilance Police Station when they were stopped by a 27-year-old car wash operator who reported that Britton, who was attached to the Caliber Security Service, had threatened him with a firearm. As a result, the ranks exited the police vehicle and went after Britton, who was spotted spotted some 25 feet ahead of them. On seeing the ranks, Britain allegedly scaled the fence in an escape bid. The ranks reportedly gave chase, during which Britain allegedly whipped out a firearm and discharged a round in their direction. In retaliation, the police returned fire, but Britain reportedly kept running. He nevertheless collapsed as he attempted to jump a fence. He was picked up by the ranks, and upon inspection of his body, a gunshot wound was seen on the left side of his hip area. He was subsequently taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. A 9mm Canik pistol with 4 live rounds of ammunition in the magazine was found. 1 round was already in the breech of the firearm. Residents of the community of Oriala and Siparata have cast their ballots on Wednesday to elect a new Tushao who will lead them for the next 3 years. Our Burpees correspondent Andrew Carmichael reports that the polls were closed at 18 hours and the results are expected later in the evening.
4 persons are vying to become the Tushao, including the current Tushao Louis de Veer. The others are David Henry, Lawrence Vandenberg, and Tisius Henry. De Veer is seeking a second term in office. Voters cast ballots to elect councillors for the Oriala Village Council and also councillors for the Siparuta Village Council. They also voted for the Tushao who will head the sister communities and at the same time councillors to sit on the Oriala Siparuta Village Council. The returning officer who served as Regional Executive Officer, Narendra Prasad, related that the process throughout the day went smoothly.
We had nominations almost a week ago, and everybody is enthusiastic about renewed leadership to look at their rights, to defend them, to work along, to represent them, basically. So far, I'm very pleased with the turnout. I'm very pleased with the cooperation we are receiving from the residents/voters.
Several persons who cast their ballots also related the importance of the elections.
It is a very, very important process for both communities, and we also have surrounding places where people settle along the riverside. Oriala is stretching from the Mopena Creek all the way up the river to Patuca Creek. That's way up the river, the Quarantine River. It's a wide area. It covers a lot of different settlements and work areas. And today is very significant for the people because it will be for the next 3 years. And the leaders are the administrators of these 2 communities. They will be placed there to make decisions based on the voice of the people, but it will be development in different areas of agriculture, sports, education, and social security and different areas.
It is very important to come out and cast a vote this morning because experience has taught us that we haven't had any good leadership or any good local governance in this community. And for a change, my vote will come. For a change, we need people to support a positive cause, a good cause. I am supporting Lawrence Vandenberg, and that is the good choice that everyone here in Oriala needs to take today.
Over the past years, for Oriala, then everybody know it, you know, see no change. So I see the young people going now for running for councillor captain Tushao, and I think it's high time. So that's why I'm coming out and vote because I want to see a change.
There are 864 eligible voters listed in Oriala and 278 are listed in Siparuta. Meanwhile, the Amerindian settlement of Morakabai also held its elections on Wednesday. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
As the La Nina weather pattern persists, the flood situation in Region 9 is showing signs of improvement, with water levels gradually decreasing in several affected areas. Notably, villages in the North Rupununi and South Pacaraima districts, such as Napi and Kumu, are witnessing a decline in flood waters. This has been confirmed by the Public Information Officer of the Civil Defense Commission, Patrice Wishart, on Wednesday. While progress is evident in these regions, obstacles persist, with some villages still being inaccessible due to severely damaged roads. Beyond Region 9, other areas in Regions 1, 6, 7, and 8 have experienced some flooding. However, comprehensive details regarding the extent of the damage are pending. And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Thursday, May 16th, 2024 at midnight for 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Burbage River Bridge is expected to be closed at 10 hours 40 on Thursday, May 16th, 2024, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
ExxonMobil's U14 football tournament shifted to May 25 kickoff. This and more coming up in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp.
American-made Generac pressure washers from Sylvie's Variety Store gives you the power you need to blast away dirt and grime. Providing the perfect cleaning power for any tough jobs around the house or business, from 2,500 to 4,000 PSI. So get the Generac pressure washer today with all the parts and accessories available from Sylvie's Variety Store.
What flavors does Oreo have around the world?
Oreo peanut butter.
Let me see. Oreo cajeta.
Here comes Oreo around the world, the promo that takes you on a family trip to taste the Oreo flavors available in Paris, New York, Mexico, or Rome. Register your packages at oreopromo.com.
What flavors does Oreo have around the world?
Oreo peanut butter.
Let me see. Oreo cajeta.
Here comes Oreo around the world, the promo that takes you on a family trip to taste the Oreo flavors available in Paris, New York, Mexico, or Rome. Register your packages at oreopromo.com.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.